Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com, and what you're looking at here is the new Superbox S6 Ultra. This box is a little different than its predecessor in that it's made to be a little less expensive because it's made of a different material. It's more of a plastic container instead of a metal container. It's gray instead of blue, but otherwise the software and the rest of the hardware works just the same. It has the classic Superbox controller, and it is equipped with Android 12.0. We'll just show you that right here. When you jump into the settings, you see the standard Android 12.0 controls for TV. And we'll go into the basics here, and you'll see. It's got 128 gigabytes of flash memory, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you see right there, Android tvOS version 12. So this is a pretty solid version of Android as far as TVs go. It's not the full Android TV that you get on some of those boxes, but with Android 12, you do have the option to jump in and use things like Google Assistant and other Google-based kind of exclusives, including, of course, the Google Play Store, which we'll show you in just a second. Just a little review here of the internal storage. It's not unlimited storage, but it's enough to download the main apps you're going to want to be using. I mean, people aren't putting 50, 70, 90 apps on these boxes. So, when we jump into the apps, you'll see there's the Google Play Store, and it has its own app store that we'll take a look at for a minute soon. Within the Google Play Store, you have the vast majority of apps that you would normally find on the Google Play Store, though there are some notable exceptions. I wasn't able to get Disney Plus through this app store, and I'll show you another important one. You can't add Netflix through this either. Netflix can be very finicky about what sorts of apps they allow on what sorts of boxes, and they just don't support the normal Netflix TV app on this box. A lot of people aren't getting this box for Netflix though, because you can get Netflix on all sorts of things. The thing that makes this box different than a lot is that it has its own app store that has easier access to apps that people are looking for different content. Now you can add most popular apps. So we're going to just drop Tubi on here. See, it downloads pretty fast. We've got a very fast internet connection over here, so your performance is going to be based on whatever service you're paying for, whatever level. So I can't promise that it's going to download quickly or anything on your systems. We'll add Tubi and Pluto TV. Those are two excellent free services that have, just so much stuff. Tubi is really growing. We need to do a separate app video on Tubi soon, because it's grown a lot and revamped its look. While we're doing this, I did want to say hello. It's been a while. It's been a very interesting year in our world. I won't get into all the personal details because I'm sure you don't want to hear them. But we're going to be getting back to more normal videos starting now. So this is the app store that actually comes with the Superbox. It's different. It has it's not like a searchable app store. What it does is it has a number of things sort of already in place. And so you can jump in there and add some important things like Aptoid TV and Downloader. I'll show you that a little later. The home screen is set up so that you can add shortcuts to the home screen based on whatever sorts of apps you've got downloaded. There is a glitch I run into sometimes. It might show up here, where For some reason it will say it's out of space. So no shortcuts, no space. In order to fix that, you pretty much have to sometimes reset the whole box, something along those lines, or clear out all the memory. So that's not a perfect feature, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It just doesn't seem to matter after a while. Unfortunately, that is the case, but you're still able to access everything through your apps. And if you want to clear things out, it's really easy. You just go down there to that little trash can and say uninstall the apps. So anything that isn't like a permanent installed app, you can do that. And then just clear out the shortcuts using the little multi-line button on the remote control. In general, this is a pretty simple and easy to navigate system. Now here's our speed that we're working with right here. That has the built-in fast.com speed tester. Essentially it's a link to the fast.com website using its built-in Chrome browser. What are we getting here? 390 megabits per second. So you can see that this box is capable of doing very fast speeds. You're not gonna get caught by its speed limit. So we'll go back into their actual app store here, and we'll add a couple of things that they've got to offer. And what's helpful about this is you don't have to look around for them. You just get Downloader. And we'll add Aptoid TV. Just give us some more options as far as the apps that we can add to the box, aside from what's included here and what is in the Google Play Store. So, just open up Downloader, and there you sort of open up the entire world of the internet to your box. That's why people add it to their Fire TVs and other things. Aptoid TV has been a long popular Google Play alternative. So you can add the Aptoid TV store real easy. If you decide that you also want the more expansive Android version of Aptoid, you can add that as well. Oddly enough, I don't think you can download that through Aptoid TV, but you can do it through the downloader. Now these sections here are mostly shortcuts except for the browser, which does open a version of the browser that's more meant for a touch screen. So you have to turn on the mouse function in order to access the address bar, things like that. It isn't a point and click kind of browser. Downloader is, and there are others like the Puffin browser that you can get for the box that allow you to just use your normal remote and get after it. The rest of the squares are basically stylized folders. So what you do there is you add programs based on what you're working with. And before I move on to anything, I always like to clear this out using the little memory sweeper. The rest of the icons down here do things like get you to your memory section. So you can find the things that you've downloaded, clear that out if you want. It does have voice controls as an option. And really nice, at the bottom here, you can get to customer support using the QR codes. So whether you want to do app-based support or website-based support, you can do so with just a couple of clicks. And so that's nice, if you've run into any problems. Sometimes that's better than bouncing around and trying to find YouTube videos, right? But please subscribe to ours, right? We're great. Did want to point out that this does support Bluetooth. Real easy to get to. Just right there in the settings. So you can hook up a remote control to it, different controllers. You can hook up game controllers for playing video games that you download through the Google Play Store or wherever else you're looking for them. And overall, that's pretty much it. This is a good, solid Android box. Like I said, it's less expensive than other models. You can check them out. I'll link you to the website. And that's the Superbox S6 Ultra. If you liked this video, if you thought it was helpful, please subscribe and share this with your friends. Give us a like, all the regular stuff. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the streaming advisor. Stream on, my friends.